Okay, we're a little bit late getting started here. Let's get this meeting rolling. Call to order, please.
Weir,
Here.
Casanello,
Present.
Hayter,
Yes.
Schneider, Larson,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Here.
Morris.
Here. Okay, we'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Today we have from the Girl Scouts. I didn't catch your name. Sorry about that.
My name is Ibab the Martinez Jaka.
Okay, Bob, to lead the pledge.
Salute. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And for the invocation, we have Rizwan Jaka from Adams Center as well. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Very much appreciated to the Town of Haymarket Town Council. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you, my brothers and sisters in humanity. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Dear God, let our actions be full of compassion and peace, for building a world in which our words, peace, salam, shalom, shanti, ring from every Christian church, Muslim mosque, Jewish synagogue, Hindu mandir, Sikh gurdwara, Buddhist temple, and Baha'i temple. We are now in the season of many holidays and festivals which are reflective of the pluralism and religious freedom in this great United States of America. The Muslim community is now in the month of Ramadan, starting April 1st of sunset, for 30 days, fasting from dawn to sunset, no eating or drinking, and increasing charity to help those in need. Just recently in March, end of March, the Hindu community had the holy season. The Zoroastrian, Persian, and Afghan community celebrated Nowruz, a new year. Now, for the Christian community is in the season of Lent and upcoming Easter. The Jewish community also will be having Passover in a few weeks as well. The Sikh and Hindu community will have a spring festival of Vaisakhi. It is a reminder that in these holiday seasons, we ask God to remind us all of respecting each other and the golden rule of treating each other with respect. The Islamic tradition of the golden rule, we are reminded by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that none of us truly believes until we wish for our brother and sister what we wish for ourselves. We are reminded by God to do good to the parents, to kinsfolk, to orphans, to those in need, to neighbors who are near and neighbors who are stranger. We remember Ms. Johanna Newman, a Holocaust survivor, may her memory be a blessing, who spoke at the Adams Mosque in 2006 and 2017, reminding us of the biblical reminder to welcome the stranger. We pray for all the refugees in this world, and we welcome those that are coming to the USA, like the recent Afghan refugees and the upcoming refugees coming from Ukraine. We pray for peace to persevere in the world. We pray for all to be safe and healthy. We thank the doctors, the essential workers, the first responders, and businesses that helped people during the COVID emergencies and even now. May God bless and guide our town of Haymarket, the mayor, the town council, the staff, law enforcement, Virginia National Guard, U.S. military, and all their families. May God guide them and us all to do the best we can for Haymarket, for Virginia, and the United States of America. We appreciate their leadership and their sacrifice for the public good. May God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia, may God bless the United States of America, and may God bless the whole world. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, now we'll move on to the next agenda item. We have a certificate of achievement here. I'd like to read a little bit of a bio here. Evan Nichols was born with complications that affected his capability to walk. He went through several surgeries so that he could eventually walk with a walker. At the age of 5, Evan was faced with other complications in his hips, requiring additional surgical procedures. Even with these setbacks, Evan participated in soccer, basketball, swimming, and archery. With the encouragement of his friend Alex Green, Evan joined a sled hockey team based in Alexandria. His parents drove him to MedStar Capital's Iceplex to practice and play. When the pandemic hit, that complex shut down, prompting his parents to look for another complex that supported sled hockey. The nearest complex they found hosted the Mighty Penguins, an adult sled hockey team located in Cranberry Township, which is north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah. The Nichols started traveling there each weekend so that Evan could play. While playing with the Mighty Penguins, Evan was recognized by the 2022 U.S. National Sled Hockey Team manager, who encouraged him to try out for the Olympic team. Evan won a spot on the team and competed in the Paralympics last month, right? It was in March? Yeah, last month in Beijing. The men's U.S. team took gold, defeating Canada 5-0. Evan is a high school senior at Battlefield. During his time away from school, he still maintained his 3.4 GPA. Evan will be attending the University of New Hampshire this fall to study business. On behalf of the Haymarket Council, Town Council, I'd like to take this time to recognize Evan for his accomplishments and present him with a certificate of achievement to express our gratitude for representing the United States, Battlefield High School, and the town of Haymarket. Before I ask Evan to come up to the dais, I'd like to give a shout out to his parents, Dan Nichols and Julia Wilhelmi. Thanks. Didn't know if I'd get that right. As mentioned above, they were participants in his path to gold. As a proud parent to my own athletes, I'd like to thank you for the hours that you spent driving to practice and competitions. Thank you for spending your hard-earned money on your athlete's dream. Thank you for being brave in the face of injuries and setbacks. Thank you for encouraging your athlete to keep going when they needed the extra push. But most of all, thank you for washing loads of disgusting, sweaty laundry. As you two have stood behind Evan for this big athletic achievement, I'd like you to also come up and stand behind him as we present him with this plaque. Please come forward. Never denied it. Okay. What I have here is a plaque as well as the certificate for the plaque.
Always looking for souvenirs. Congratulations. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. He did most of the work.
Thank you.
So in Winchester today, taking care of Jackson. I got a violation, remember? Oh, no. It's okay. The hell with it.
The next agenda item was, of course, a certificate of recognition, which was kind of all in the same round there. So we'll move on to the proclamation. Councilman Morris, if you will.
We're joined here today by members of the Dominion Women's Club. This is a proclamation to observe April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas our children are our most valuable resource and are vital to our future success, prosperity, and quality of life, they are also the most vulnerable members of our society. And whereas child abuse is a community problem and finding solutions depends on the environment of the people throughout the community, and whereas all children deserve to have the safe, stable, nurturing homes and communities they need to foster their healthy growth and development, and whereas the most important thing we can do to help children thrive is to support families before they reach a crisis, and whereas effective child abuse prevention activities and training succeed because of the partnerships created among individuals and families, healthcare professionals, schools, community and civic organizations, faith-based organizations, businesses, and law enforcement agencies. And whereas the Haymarket Town Council acknowledges that we must all work together to increase awareness about child abuse and create safe and healthy environments for children where they can live with supportive families and engage communities. Now, therefore, the Town Council of the Town of Haymarket, Virginia, does hereby proclaim April 2022 as Child Abuse Prevention Month and urges all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families in witness thereof this 4th day of April 2020. And I just want to thank the Dominion Women's Club for their interaction and for them spearheading this whole drive. Thank you on behalf of the Town Council. We really appreciate it.
And also, I'd like to make note of the park next to the Haymarket Museum. Those pinwheels are to represent this month. That was also an effort that was put forth by the Dominion Women's Club. Thank you.
Would they like to say?
Yeah, would you like to give a word?
Want to come up and
Maybe share a little bit about what you're planning on doing this month?
Sure. Do you want to talk into this or should I
Yeah,
just
no, talk to this so we can capture you.
Okay, hi, I'm Mary Ellen Murphy from the Dominion Women's Club. I'm supported very ably here by Shelley Kozlowski, who you may all know.
Oh, yes, we know her.
And she is a member for quite some time, and Susie Kolot, who is my co-chair of the Civic Engagement and Outreach Committee. One of our very, very big concerns in dealing with social problems and civic outreaches has been the ability to recognize that not everybody does have, not every child has the kind of life that one would hope for. What we've done, and you mentioned this just a moment ago, we've very graciously been granted the opportunity to use that park across the street so that we could plant a pinwheel garden to call attention as people drive by to the signs we have out there as well that tell you that April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and that every child does and should have and deserves to have a safe environment. We would hope, because there are the website issues to go, there are website addresses to go to, that if anybody does need or suspects that somebody needs help with child abuse and address that issue, that they can go on the website and find out places and ways to help. So this is just our outreach. We thank the Town of Haymarket very much for your willingness to always work with us, whether it be for Haymarket Day or whether it's for this or for some of the other outreaches that we do. We love to say our little thank you to you by planting your garden, the little garden by your sign, which we also enjoy doing as well. But we really, we are so blessed to have this nice association, this cooperation among the people in our community. So thank you for recognizing this. Thank you for the proclamation. And let's hope that our spinning pinwheels that fortunately did not blow away in the winds
Until tomorrow.
will be eye-catching and will maybe save the life of a child and make a child's life better. So thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you. And before you leave, we got the proclamation here.
We have to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we'll get you the pictures. Okay.
You guys are just photo op hounds.
Again, I'm so nervous.
Oh, now we got.
If I knew that was your thing, I would be wearing boots all the time.
Gotta be weathering. I gotta have straps.
Pretty, pretty.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Take
it's all
these.
good. No, I thought it was no.
Okay, get the bats out now.
It's like, was I supposed to just?
No. Oh, I have something for you. Yeah, I'll show you this. It's in my bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, next on the list is citizens' time. Anybody here for citizens' time? Any emails? No, sir. Okay, then we'll move on to presentation by Carried to Full Term. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Kayla Figueroa Diaz, and I'm the volunteer community liaison with Carried to Full Term. Thank you so much for allowing us to present to you today, tell you a little bit about ourselves. And I believe it was Councilwoman Rodriguez that brought us up last time, if I'm remembering that correctly. It's also wonderful that the Dominion's Women Club has brought so much attention to the child abuse and making April a Child Abuse Prevention Month. That also speaks to my heart. So a little bit about Carried to Full Term. We're a long-term residential facility for women that are in crisis due to pregnancy and homelessness. So our goal is to provide a safe place for them to stay. And one of the unique features of our program is the length of stay, which is up to 24 months, sometimes longer depending on the woman. And we have a wonderful program for them as well. So we focus on things like educational goals. We help with their mental health. There's a lot of them come from traumatic backgrounds. So some of them come from human trafficking backgrounds. Some of them are escaping a domestic violence situation. Some of them have just lived their whole lives in poverty and homelessness. And so our goal is to reach out, come beside them, and empower them towards self-sufficiency so that they can make a better life for themselves and their children. So right now, we do have 3 moms in the house, 3 moms, 2 babies, and 1 baby that's on the way. And right now, all 3 of the women in our program have jobs. So that was a recent development that they all were able to get employed. The community that we serve is the hidden homeless and transitional homeless. And so one of the other goals of our organization is to bring attention to the hidden homeless, which are people that there are no statistics about, because they are staying with friends, they're couch surfing, they're jumping from family to family member, so they don't even come up when you're talking about homeless. And even in a lot of organizations that support the homeless population, hidden homeless isn't included. So that's another huge goal that we have at Carry to Full Term. Our current needs right now, we're looking for grocery store gift cards, anything to like Walmart, Target, I think the Aldi that's right there. Because what we do, especially when a mom first comes into our program, we try to give them a $50 grocery gift card. We give them some essentials. We make sure that they have everything they need. And right now we're low on those grocery store gift cards. Another need we have is for like Uber and Lyft cards. That way they can get their children to childcare before they go to work. If they work a little bit farther away, they can get there. They can go to their doctor's appointments. And we do have a need for office supplies as well currently, in particular printer paper. So that's one of our needs. It's not what you'd expect, but those are our current needs. Yeah, that's just a little about us. We have a fundraiser coming up. The Nomis group is throwing it for us. It's a golf fundraiser, and that's on April 29th. So you're all invited to attend. And if anybody's interested in volunteering, if you're interested in donating, all of that information is on our website. And I do have a few brochures with me today if anybody would like one. So yeah, I know today's a packed agenda, so that's all from me.
Anybody have any questions? You have a question?
Any questions?
Yes. How long have you been in the town of Haymarket operating here?
So Carry to Full Term has been operating, I want to say since 2016. And we're off of Fayette Street in that little yellow house. That's the house where all of our moms are. And then our office is in the building next door in the White House where St. Paul's Episcopal Church is. They partner with us closely, and they're the ones that have rented us the house. Yeah. And yeah, 5 years. Last year we had a 5-year celebration. Yeah. Any other questions?
Anybody?
Okay, and then like I said, you can connect with us on Facebook. You can go to our website. And again, thank you so much for letting me speak to you all. Did you have a question?
I did, actually.
Yeah.
You said the golf tournament is on the 29th,
Yeah, I believe April 29th.
and you have flyers.
I don't have a flyer for the golf tournament. I'm sorry I don't have that,
okay.
but I do have brochures about our other programs. But that day is going to be a lot of fun. If you go on our Facebook page, you'll see all of the information. You'll also see a lot of funny videos of the Nomis group advertising it. They're really great, and they put that fundraiser on for us last year and this year as well. And it's always a really great time. Yeah, and it's at Stonewall Golf Club, I believe.
I was going to ask.
Yes,
you.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it's at Stonewall.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
should
Any other
connect that.
questions?
We should connect that.
Yeah.
I just want to say, it's not a question, but thank you so much for coming and speaking. And I love that you guys are here in town. I love the service that you guys provide to
Thank you.
our community, and just thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And we love you guys. This is like such a supportive community. A lot of the businesses in this community support us, and we're very thankful to be in the town of Haymarket as well. So thank you so much. Thank you. And if
so
anybody
much.
wants a brochure, I can get them out. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, please. Should post it.
We need to connect that on our Facebook page.
Absolutely.
That would be the,
Okay.
your job.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
These kind of, would you like one as well, sir?
Just watch your step. There's
Okay.
the cord's right there.
So that has kind of an overview. I'll give each of you. I don't have a whole lot of them. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
We could share.
That's okay.
Yeah, we can,
Yeah.
we can make copies.
Okay, perfect. So one of them is for our Pathways program. One of them kind of has all of our fundraisers that we keep going year round. Our Pathways program is a membership to do a monthly donation, and you get community perks like a first to know notification. So like when we have a baby born, all of those that are members, you get the first to know before we post it on Facebook. I know, they're so cute. Our Facebook page is just Baby Mania. So that's
so
one
much.
of those. You are so welcome.
Thank you.
And this is the third one I have, is the investing in housing. That's the one I don't have a lot of.
Okay.
That's
So
fine.
if
We
you
can
guys
share.
want to make
Thank you.
copies,
Yep.
absolutely.
All right, super.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That one.
All right.
absolutely. Would you like that one? Sure. Thank you so much.
I need all the babies.
Huh?
I need all the babies.
You need all.
I do.
He said.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm the best aunt ever. I really am.
I'm sorry,
I'm not
one
even
last
gonna
question.
comment
You,
on
for
that.
volunteering, do you guys, I feel like I saw something on your
Yeah.
Facebook page about volunteering to like help babysit or something like that?
We do have a need,
Okay.
a huge need. I'm sorry, I forgot that.
No, that's okay.
For babysitting volunteers. So that's another way that we help our moms with childcare costs. Some of them get through the county childcare assistance. Some of them, before they're able to get that, we have babysitting volunteers. And then those that have like a steady job and can afford the childcare will put their children in childcare. And there's also a lot of ways to volunteer with us. Frances Robin, the director, she always says that there's no talent that we can't find a way to use. So definitely, if you're interested in volunteering, that would be wonderful. Sometimes we also have those who volunteer to drive our moms around to certain places as well. But our volunteer needs are also listed on our website.
Awesome. Thank
Yes.
you so much.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, my car's not
Big enough. Doesn't have enough
child
seats.
seat compatible.
And all the things. Like, bring them to me.
Neither is
Okay.
Sandy's car.
But my car is.
Next on the agenda is Danica Rome. Because of the special meeting that's being held, I think she's been detained. Is that correct?
Correct. A special session, a general assembly, special session, will be today's meeting to update.
So we'll postpone her till the May meeting. Okay, the consent agenda. Anybody want to pull any of the,
Mr. Mayor, Joe and I would like to pull item D3, the town treasurer report.
okay, B3?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to pull the police department report, please.
Okay.
Good.
See that on the list? There it is.
Do it.
B2, yeah.
B2 and B3.
B2 and B3, is that it?
Yes, sir.
In that case, Mr. Mayor, I would move approval of consent agenda items A1 through 3, B1, and B4 through 6, as well as C1 through 5.
I'll second. Oh, go ahead. No, no.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to item B2 then, the police chief report.
Thank you,
Do you
sir.
have some questions?
Chief, thank you for your report, and could you expound on the community outreach, especially the last 3 items on the community outreach, and also just an overview of your planned events over the next 12 months, please?
Yes, sir. As you can see, we've expanded our list to 37 events, and that list is going to be a continued work in progress. There's a couple other things that we've identified that we do want to do, that we're in the process of meeting with other third-party individuals to coordinate that with. Looking at the last 3, you're talking about the Drug Take Back Day, which I'm guessing last 3 generalistic, because one of them is several events of the same type, just different dates. Drug Take Back Day will be held at the Advent Health, which we're going to start advertising for here in the next couple of days. Obviously, the National Drug Take Back Day happens twice a year, and we want to involve the town of Haymarket with that and make sure that they know that they have that resource available to get rid of unwanted and unneeded drugs inside their house, thus negating overdoses or theft of those pills. So we're going to support that and make sure that we have a presence at the hospital that day to coordinate with that. The literacy with law enforcement, I was speaking with the acting town manager, Emily Karazi, and we had been coordinating with her and the events coordinator to do reading with a cop or stories with a police officer. But I got to thinking about the terminology, and basically we're not there just to read a story. We're there to interact and help them learn to read, and obviously with literacy, read and write. So we want to expand on that program, and so I decided to change the name of Reading with COP to Literacy with Law Enforcement, where we go into local schools, local daycares, and have a presence with the children and read to them and assist the teachers with their needs during that time period that we're there. So I think it's a good outreach program, and also helps the children, and it gives them an opportunity to meet with us, talk with us, and learn more about us and what we do, and provide a service both to the children and the community in that aspect. And then the third item, number 37, the Flags for Heroes events, which is being put on by Rotary coming up in June 11th. So in the past, obviously, there's been a walk done. We coordinated with Emily and the event organizer to get a route planned out to walk the 2.2 miles through town. And we'll have a presence there for that, but we're also going to support. I think that the organizer actually wants me to speak, and I think a few of you all, I'm not going to speak to that. I wasn't present for any conversations on that, but it sounds like he wants a good presence from the town to help with that event. And so we're providing those services to that organization.
Thank you, Chief. Could you explain the low haircut?
The haircut. Yes, that was for St. Baldrick's, and then, again, thanks for the donation. I know Joe threw some money at it. He wanted to see me bald. But, you know, being your chief, I gamed out the program and looked at it a little bit. I wasn't the first up in the chair. I wanted to see who was using what side clippers, and realized that the chair number 3 had size 2 and not size 1. So I took advantage of.
Straight razor.
You know, they didn't have those, thank God. But now we had it.
Do it right. I mean, really.
Well, I mean, you know, it's a look.
I would have gone and I would have taken the straight razor.
I like it.
But it was a great program. We were there for several hours and interacted with a lot of the public out there. Very good event, very well organized. Studio B did an excellent job and had a large force there. And they advertised or had put out on their Facebook that they had raised over $10,000 for children's cancer. And I know that a large part of that, or a good portion of that donation came from us, which was a good deal. So it was a great time.
And then finally, how cold was the water?
The water was very, very cold, but my objective was to make it to the divers, and I did that. And then I was a little worried I was going to sink into the silt of the Potomac and never be seen again. But my weight, my girth, my buoyancy got me back out. So it was all good. A good time was had by all. So my kids were there with me and enjoyed every minute of me watching me freeze. So it was a good deal.
Sure, they took great glee in it.
Oh yeah, my daughter recorded every minute of it. So I get to relive it anytime she wants to see it on my phone.
Thank you, Chief. On behalf of the Town Council, we're really looking forward to the many events that you have planned and how you incorporate the community and the different entities within the community. So,
yes, sir. Thank you. We'll continue our efforts in that direction for sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, then we'll move on to B3, Town Treasurer Report.
Yeah, this, we asked to pull this because we wanted to give Roberto a chance to discuss the TOT, the transit occupancy tax, the breakdown of it.
Good evening, Council. I have passed a graph pie chart, mainly because on the last meeting I know there's some confusion on how the tax will be distributed on the expenditure side. So I wanted to take a moment and try to explain it as easy and simple as possible. With that being said, though, we're during our finance committee.
Look to that side.
During the finance committee meeting, one thing I do want to update you is that I have reached out to the hotel owners as well, because when I did this calculation, I did an oversight that the $3 million is actually based off as a whole. I needed the TOT is only based out of the occupancy, the rent, the hotel, the room rentals. So I'm reaching out to them to see if I can get a better number. But with all that being said, the percentages won't change. The amounts would. In this case, it'll be less than the 210 that we have in the budget. I am hoping to get that updated number before our meeting on the 19th. And I'll be able to include in that, revise that on the draft budget when we discuss it. But what you have in front of you, though, like I said, it is just kind of a graph of showing how the funds will be distributed. The reason I'll stick to the 210 is because that's what's in the budget right now, not to confuse anyone. But as you can see, the 210 that we received, that's 100% of the revenues. On the expenditure side, I know there was the 3/7 and then the percentages. I included both. So out of the 3/7 would go back to the tourism, Hilton reimbursement. The percentages, that would be 42.9%. The remaining funds would be split in half to towards town tourism and then towards the town general fund, which each would be 28.6%. That is how that 7% that we collect from TOT would be then expenditure on the expended side. I don't know if there's any specific questions on that graph or anything.
Yes. So the 3/7 portion goes back to the hotel.
Correct.
And they use it at their discretion for
No.
tourism.
Towards tourism to promote the town.
Okay.
I believe that is the language in the contract.
So who vets to see if they're promoting the entire
So-
chain of
Thank you
hotels?
for asking
Thank you
that
for it, 'cause
question.
you just segued into what we need to talk to next.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
So is there an answer?
Yes. So, in having this discussion during Finance Committee, I brought up the question, which, reason why we pulled this report mainly too is, I was going to ask council, if, similar to the Finance Committee, if there is a want or desire to maybe have a two-person committee to review this reimbursement documentation along with me. And just so there is a separation on it. I know the auditors wise, they love to see separation from that stuff too, because it's very unique. In my opinion and my request was, I was thinking of having Vice Mayor, because she deals with a lot of the business stuff right now, and it's promoting tourism. That's one of her biggest things that she's really big on. On the other side, if I'm always happy to have one of the finance committee members to be there, but they will ultimately end up seeing the reimbursement request as well, because they'll go through the process of reviewing the check signing, the payable. But I will leave it amongst the council to decide who the other person would be. If one of them is definitely the vice mayor, and see if council would agree to maybe have another person on council. And this would be something that it would be once a month, come in, kind of review it similar to we do the finance committee when we review the payables every week. Gets discussed, the checks get signed. But just to have a process aside from just myself on reviewing it, especially because it is a unique situation. I don't think any other treasurer that I've talked to has had something like this in their jurisdiction. So definitely just want to make sure that everything gets done correctly.
Before we segue into that, is there a need from the not necessarily the town council, but the town to vet the aspect of what is being promoted?
Absolutely.
So would it not make sense then that group that you're talking about, one person from the finance committee along with the vice mayor, who then takes that information but also follows up with the hotel to find out where exactly that 3/7 is being spent? Because quite honestly, they could be using it for the entire state of Virginia. And I don't think our 3/7 should be spent on that. So,
Well, that's going to be the purpose of the committee, because they have to give us receipts before they get the money back. We don't give them.
Correct.
We don't simply reimburse them their 3/7 on a monthly basis. It gets reimbursed based on invoices that they forward to us, and that's what needs to be reviewed, are those invoices. to make sure that they are promoting the town.
Understand, but I'm thinking more, not just accountability from the town, but also a group from the town council, that builds that rapport and relationship with the hotel. That same group that holds them accountable still builds that relationship.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that our event planner may be able to engage in this as well? No?
Good question.
I wouldn't, because the face of the town is the town manager. You wouldn't want another staff member that bypasses the town manager.
They're reporting monthly
Correct.
on what they're doing? Okay, that would be my
I'm
concern.
assuming the reimbursables are going to come in once a month, Roberto?
Yes.
In a bulk sort of fashion?
Yes.
Okay.
What kind of lag? What kind of
So
lag do we have
it's
on
similar
this?
to the meals tax, which is a month behind. So,
Okay.
yeah, we'll be receiving mainly the meals tax and around the same due date, every month, the 20th.
So in my mind, there's a couple of things here. We have an agreement in place, which is the driving document. That's the operating document that we live by. What gets done, what program gets done is, in my mind, is pretty vague. It's not really mentioned in this agreement. So it seems to me that what we would probably want to do is have a sit-down with them prior to and kind of iron out exactly what the expectations are. So, and I don't know if we've ever even talked about what those expectations are, so that might be something we need to do now, then sit down with them and go through it, and then match it up against whatever they're doing to the expectations that we lay out. We can come into an agreement together on what those expectations are, but to your point, this is an investment in the town, from my understanding, and I think that's what the agreement says, but I'll
Yes.
kick it to Martin to clarify if there's anything he can add to the discussion.
Mayor, I agree that's a good idea to sit down. The agreement is a little bit vague because over the life of the agreement, it's not clear how many different programs that they will be engaged in for marketing and promotion. But the contract, as Councilmember Snell said, does provide the criteria that the invoices will be compared against, and it even addresses the issue that if it's promoting the town but also businesses outside the town, then the expenditures that are fairly attributable to the non-town tourism, travel, or business shall be deducted from the invoice, and the remainder, if any, shall be a satisfactory invoice. So there's that the concern you just raised is addressed specifically here, and so we'll have to see on a rubber hitting the road basis how this works, but we did think about some of the pitfalls.
Which is why my suggestion would be the vice mayor and a member of the finance committee.
Go ahead and nominate him.
Driving it as far as speaking with them and remember, it's not for confrontation. It's really just to talk to them to see what the expectations are, then the accountability, and then building relationships for us and for future councils down the road.
If they're constituted an official committee, then their meetings will have to be advertised and open to the public,
Only if it's two people?
even if it's just two people, because they're being delegated a governmental authority.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that.
Actually, I think it's better. It's recorded.
Works for me.
Because there has been a lot of unrecorded meetings that took place with the hotel. So this is holding us accountable too, especially for the things that we've witnessed.
Full transparency.
So I'm assuming this committee would be kind of equivalent or at the same level as like a planning committee or something?
It's essentially, yeah, it's a planning committee, it's a review committee, I would call it a oversight committee.
So why is this not
What
required
kind of-
by the finance committee?
The finance committee is required to advertise its meetings and have them open to the public and take minutes.
So maybe we need to address that.
Well, wait a minute. Finance committee
Is the council.
is the
There's
council
two
at the work
liaisons.
session.
Yes, but two members of the council.
Liaisons do meet with
The treasurer.
the treasurer.
So that would be my question.
So are you
as
saying
well.
that the two liaisons have to post a meeting with the treasurer?
No, no. That's a liaison situation, not a committee.
Exactly.
Stop calling yourselves committee then.
No, we don't call
No.
ourselves. You call us.
You call us committee.
That's what I tried to say from the beginning. The work session
So
is
if we
the
called us
committee.
the TOT liaisons, we wouldn't have to bother with it.
Yeah, I mean, you raise an interesting point. Maybe somebody would disagree with that assessment. And
If it's
if you're going to
simply
be
to review,
100%.
if it's to review the bills,
Yeah, but
as its principal function.
Right.
but I think for accountability we need to have it recorded.
That's, I mean, I'm not gonna get hung up on it one way or the other.
I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me.
Even if you're just in the beginning setting the standards, and then afterwards, you can be the liaison.
But if that's the case, for transparency, are we going to try to hold this during off hours? Or are we going to, feel comfortable making it during business hours in which we're preventing town members from attending?
I think it's one of those things, I think, to make it effective, especially with the hotel, you're almost gonna have to have it during regular business hours.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna need staff here, so.
Well, and if we record.
Well, just a concern to raise for transparency.
Review and then,
Because you're gonna
Comment.
report back to council anyway, right? Yeah, so.
Frankly, I'm not sure we really even thought about how this was going to be structured. It just came up last week at our finance meeting when we started talking about the TOT in depth and the agreement. So I think we need to probably discuss it further and try to flesh something out, put some meat on the bones.
If I could make a suggestion, I think you've got two pieces to this. One is the discussion with the hotel business about what their plans are for their marketing. And the other is the actual review of the invoices, which is more of an administrative function.
Right.
That's the part
Than
I'm
a
concerned
strategic
about.
one. So, that would be something that I think is, while council members are certainly welcome to look at them, they're public records, the actual review is an administrative function, subject to direction from the council. So it may not be necessary for you to sit down as a committee or as liaisons and look at specific bills more than once. If you do that once and you kind of got a feel for what's going on, then after that, it's an administrative function that the treasurer and the manager handle, and you are certainly welcome to come in and look and see what they're doing, but providing that, the strategic vision of that is your job, and the day-to-day administration is what you pay them for.
Can I go off on a tangent just a little bit on the agreement, Martin? And let me just probe a little bit. So I think you said before, when you were reading from the contract, that if it's not related to the town, that gets pulled out.
Right.
So just to be clear, we might be paying 42.9% or whatever the number is back to the hotel reimbursement up to that level. It's not, conceivably, it could be less than 42.9%. It could be 30%. It could be 20%, depending on what they do after we review it, correct?
Right. So the 3 cents out of the 7, there's a cap on that based on, is the lesser of the 3 out of the 7 cents, or the actual expenditures that they're asking for reimbursement on. And then there's a set of rules that are laid out in the contract there that you
Does
just
the
have to keep
balance
track of.
get escrowed for future use, or?
Yes, it's like a tax deduction. If you don't use it in the current year, you can use it in the future one. It's similar here. If they have a satisfactory invoice, but they're over their cap, then they can roll that over into a future month.
What about the other way? If they don't spend it all, do we escrow the money, in essence, escrow the money for
Well,
future?
The way that works is it's got the $3.5 million cap over the life of the contract. So let me see if I understand your question again.
If they only provide us with receipts for X, and the amount of revenue, their share of that month's revenue is X times 2, do we take the excess and escrow it in anticipation of higher bills in following months?
Well, wouldn't call it an escrow, but yeah,
I'm just-
you have the possibility that they will, it's a cumulative total of the 3% per month, 3/7 per month, and then,
But it doesn't go to the general fund. It goes
yeah,
to,
well, right, I mean,
it's kept separately to pay for their bills in the future, correct?
it would be wise not to go out and spend that money.
So we need to set up some sort of
I was
accounting
gonna say,
to keep that 3/7
Right,
separate.
correct.
Okay,
Like a lockbox.
like a lockbox. One of my favorite things.
Anybody?
So then, is it possible just to set up with a member of the finance liaison? One of the liaisons and the vice mayor, along with the town manager or Roberto to meet with the hotel and set the expectations, just to get something more defined as far as the spending of the 3/7?
Yep, and that's a strategy session that you say needs to be advertised, right?
That strikes me as being, yeah, something that you're delegating an authority on behalf of the council to
Yeah.
this body, and so they need to have that as a public meeting.
And it probably would just be that meeting only, that needs to be advertised.
Mhm.
100%.
You have anybody to nominate in mind?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to, I'm ready to nominate Joe.
Thank you.
But you're looking at
I
Bob.
second Joe's nomination. And I nominate Tracy Litt as the other.
I'm good.
So what action do we?
What kind of notice has to be provided for that?
Same as a regular meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is, since this is a public meeting, we're all welcome to attend.
Right.
We're all invited.
Yep.
Right.
So don't feel neglected.
Right, yeah, that's a good reminder.
I have other things to do that night, whatever night it is, or day.
I think it's a good one. I want to attend. I'll try to keep quiet, but I want to attend.
No keeping quiet.
Do we need to vote on this or sprinkle holy water, or is just
I think
without
it's just
objection
a
fine?
Direction to,
It doesn't sound like there's any dissent, so if you want to just do that by a unanimous consent, by asking if there's any objection, then you can just do it by unanimous consent. You're not allowed to object.
Sorry, no objection.
if there's no objection, we'll set up a meeting for the strategic.
Can we work with, can the vice mayor and Joe come up with possible dates so we work off your schedule?
Yes.
Because you two have to be there, so.
Okay, we can do that.
So if the two of you could talk with staff and then send out possible time and dates.
You guys good with that?
Do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
No questions from staff on
Thoughts?
what name you want to put on the meeting or anything like that? Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. My other question, Roberto, first of all, I didn't say thank you for making it readable by a 5-year-old, so thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you looking at me when you were explaining that. Town tourism, the 2/7 portion to town tourism. Do we have parameters as far as how we can spend this 2/7?
Actually, I think you're better answer.
Pass the mic. Guess what we're doing Thursday?
Thursday, in a finance liaison meeting, we're going to be discussing different ways and avenues that we can utilize this money and according to the contract, what we can actually use it for.
And how do we ensure it doesn't conflict with what the hotel is doing?
In our meeting that we schedule with the hotel and our two newly
That's pretty
appointed
good.
nominees, we will discuss what their efforts are so that we're not duplicating.
Because I would hate to see page 2 on our local newspaper having the same ad as what is on page 3 being paid for by portions of the 2/7 and the 3/7.
Yeah, but we'll be above the fold.
So Is there has to be, I mean, just make notes for your meeting that there has to be a way how we are informed as to what mode of advertisement they're hoping to take on over the next few weeks or months so that it doesn't clash with the town's direction that we're going.
Yeah, and on that question, what type of engagement do we have with our event planner and their event planner? Do they have a regular meeting session, or?
No, so
do we
right now, I would
randomly-
say their event planner is still, they haven't been open a full month. They're still really trying to work all the kinks out of just getting into a regular flow, being able to start any events that they're going to schedule. So we do have open lines of communication. We just held a meeting there last week and discussed with them some different opportunities, but we don't have a standing meeting right now.
And just one last note, Sergio, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm with you.
Is there any way we could assist them with promotions of their events through our social media a little bit more? I know we're doing it, but until they get their feet on the ground and get their event coordination in place, is there any way we can assist them with doing more advertisements for them on our social media network just to help them, you know, become more stabilized?
Certainly, as we see their events pop up and we hear about them, we can definitely share them. We would probably need to check which events are private events being held at the hotel versus which ones are public.
Yeah. Sorry.
And we have tried to participate in that. Whenever we've gotten an announcement for their job fair, we have always rolled this out on our Facebook page. So.
And I will just say, they are being bombarded, quite frankly, with a lot of interest. So allowing them the time to navigate that respectfully is important.
Yeah, I just want the message to be passed to them to let them know we're here willing to help.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes it can come across as we're just the government and we're here, still in the guidelines. No, we're still in the guidelines and we're just, out to get you. But there's another side of the government, which I'm reading from the reports, just how we can come alongside to help. So.
Let me just pick Martin's brain one last time.
Yes, sir.
As far as the code goes, Martin, is there anything in particular that delineates what we can spend it on?
The agreement only provides the only limits. There's nothing in the code that requires you to spend it on anything in particular.
So if we delineate it with what they're doing and what we're doing, and we'll be fine. Okay.
Right. I mean, your town codes.
No, I'm talking about the state code.
State code. No, there's nothing there. Just the town code and the agreement.
Okay. I have to read it again.
Yeah, so why?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Something else.
Nope. Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you, Roberto.
My memory is shot
You
today.
use a different color next time.
That takes us all the way down to the budget work session agenda item.
Okay. I get to pass this one off.
That's right. Give us your schedule.
So, page 47.
Yep.
Yes, page 47, you will see the updated timeline. I'd like to say thank you to all of council, though, for accommodating the change for next week. We still plan to hold that meeting on the 25th as it's a normal work session. To me, that meeting, it would be more of presenting any changes, if any, from the 19th that are done. Again, these are just the dates that we have scheduled. May 9th, as you can see, it's a possible meeting. I've worked with budgets in the past where one meeting is all we needed. I've worked with others, there's 2 or 3 meetings that are needed. So just want to give us a good amount of time to be able to address it. Though on the 19th, I'm hoping that we can come to an agreement for the tax rate, so I can go ahead and do the public notice to make sure we are within the parameters before we can hold the public hearing. And yeah, if there's any specific questions on this timeline, updated timeline.
Simon?
What was that?
The time.
Oh, 7.
And I'm assuming that the liaisons and you are talking about what the tax rates should look like, and I'm sure there's a few options that you're discussing.
Well, I presented a budget with an equalized tax rate of 0.117. If there is, I mean, on April 19th, if that wants to be changed by anyone there, I mean, that is the opportunity to do so. We can play those scenarios. I will have a graph that'll show you the difference if we were to do at different rates that we can actually play on real time. So it shouldn't be that difficult to play those scenarios, see what the difference would be. But the budget presented is a working budget with a equalized rate, removing the additional commercial improvements that we all know about, the 3 major ones, Van Meter, the hotel, and Crossroads. So the increase you do see is mainly coming from the commercial assessments increase.
Commercial, well, the residential increase you're going to see is going to come from the lesser the lesser increase in commercial assessments and the higher increase in residential assessments. Therefore, this year, the residences will bear a higher burden percentage-wise than the commercial establishments will, just because their assessments rose at a greater rate. It's kind of like a sine curve. One year it's one, the next year it's another one. It all comes out in the wash after a couple of years.
But yes, so like I said, and that on April 19th, we'll be able to have a real-time visualization of what it will look like at different tax rates if council wishes to see that difference.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thanks again.
Good.
So next on the agenda is the BZA members. We've got recommendations.
Also, I went by your directive last week and sent a letter to Mr. Matthews, had it hand-delivered, and Mr. Matthews promptly responded to me saying that he would be interested in serving again. I did put his application up on the dais for you to review tonight, so if you wish to also recommend him for reappointment, his term would end January 31st, 2026.
Was there a reason why he wasn't responding to our emails?
No, I just thanked him for responding.
Were we sending it to the wrong email address?
Yes, we were sending it. He changed his email address, so that's why he didn't answer to email.
But he did respond to it.
I don't know why.
You told him I was coming next to deliver a letter.
Yeah, probably.
That's good. I mean, I love the processes that we followed, because here's an individual who is willing to serve, and we tried everything and every avenue to get to him and reach out to him, and it worked. So I'm glad you followed it.
Do we need to amend the motion?
No, I think
On the new memo, there's a new motion.
Oh. Okay, that's what I get for not reading the back page.
No, we just.
Oh, he lives on Jockey Club Drive. That's why.
Who does?
No, it's not.
Oh, that's Matthew Calendar. Where's the last application?
It was on the dais for us.
From the packet.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I was going to say, I will do it.
You want to make a motion?
I move that town council recommends the appointment of Matthew Gallagher to the Haymarket Board of Zoning Appeals with the term expiring January 31st of 2025, I also move that town council recommends the appointment of Donald Meeks to the Haymarket Board of Zoning Appeals with a term expiring March 5th, 2027. In addition, I move that town council recommends the appointment of Eric Matthews to the Haymarket Board of Zoning Appeals with a term expiring January 31st, 2026.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second.
Discussion?
Any discussion?
Yes. I'll support these, but I think it's important that we have the training. And I don't know, we talked about it on Monday night, and I thought about what you suggested, Chris, about having somebody who's already on the BZA in the county, but I'm going to nix that idea because I don't think council members should be doing any training for these members. I think we need to keep that independent. To that, I want to ask Emily if she's had a conversation with Martin yet, or is that something you're working on? Okay. All right. The county is doing training, Martin, with a joint BZA and PC, and I think it's on May 2nd now. But this is the third time that we had to reschedule it, and I think we can't wait any longer. I'm really not sure if there's going to be any seats available for the town BZA. So I think we're going to need to go forward. We have the money in the budget to do it, and I think we're going to have to plan something in that respect. So, question is, who can we get to do it?
Well, were you addressing that to Martin?
Yes.
Okay.
I can do it. There are a lot of people that can do it, so we can discuss that. Emily and I can discuss that offline, and we'll come back with some suggestions for you.
That works for me.
Okay.
Because my suggestion was, I understand the point of not having a council member doing it, but there could be other members on the BZA who may be qualified to do it.
Yes, and I've talked to them.
You talked them out of it?
No. No, they talked themselves out of it. But I did talk to a few folks, and I think it's probably cleaner this way.
The BZA, your BZA meets rarely, so they're not really in a position to be doing their own training. I think they would be happy to have some training from somewhere else.
I think we have to also think about how we tailor that training, too. I mean, I think to a certain extent, it's
Elementary
BZA
basics.
101,
Yeah.
essentially, and then we work up from that. I'm sorry.
No, I'm 100% for the training. You suggested that we had it available within our finance. Do
In
we
our
know how
budget.
much that was?
Well, we have 1,500 for education in our budget,
Okay.
so.
And you feel like that will cover everything that we need?
Well, it depends on who you get and what rate
Yeah.
they charge. I mean, do I need to spell it out here?
And also, Martin, I think we've also been discussing on making it a mandatory meet 2 times a year.
Yeah.
I think it's vital.
So that they at least can stay accustomed and familiar with their education.
What they look like?
Yeah, and just the procedures in general.
Yeah. Now, we also have BZA bylaws that might be adaptable as well, so.
Right. I mean, you have limited ability to influence the BZA. You have the ability to appropriate funds for them, for their meetings, for their training, for representation, advice to them, but you don't appoint or remove members of the BZA. So you have limited influence.
We only recommend.
You do.
Yep. And also, I do want to mention that the House just passed a bill, right? HB, sponsored by Danica.
616?
16. So hopefully that means, since there will be money set aside for all jurisdictions, or a requirement, that there might be enough money to generate some business, that training does start to come our
Well,
way.
it didn't, unfortunately, the bill in its final form did not mandate an amount.
No.
That got eliminated in committee.
That would have generated plenty of opportunities for training, at least money to go towards it, but.
He's talking about HB 616, which passed unanimously in the House and the Senate, and it's just awaiting the governor's signature. And it really just speaks to considering the budget needs of a BZA.
Correct.
It's more process-oriented
Right. I mean, one thing you could do is to see if the other towns that in the county and, say, Middleburg, since it's just over the border, would be interested in doing something with you so you could split the cost of a training, and the BZA members themselves could have the benefit of hearing from other small towns that have, one appeal every 3 years.
Are we still part of TANV or whatever that is?
TANV, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
But TANV's
been a
been
while.
pretty shut down for the past 2 years because of the COVID stuff.
Well, I think the mayor should explore that.
I'm right there. I'm waiting to attend those meetings.
Make some phone calls. Just don't take me with you.
Okay.
Don't worry, he won't.
Got to see who's handling TANV now, because I think the previous person handling it, the mayor of Herndon.
Is it Herndon?
Yeah, I think she stepped down and a new mayor's in.
I don't know.
So,
We might have somebody available this evening who can answer that question later.
okay, well,
Still
still vote? Oh, okay,
yes.
thank you, thank you. I
Sorry
got
to get
sidetracked here.
Sorry about
Thank
that.
you.
Since this is a recommendation to go outside of this, I would like to have a roll call, please.
Weir,
All right.
Vasanella,
Yes.
Pater,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Okay. Let me flip back. Next on the agenda, council member time. Councilmember Morris.
Thank you, sir. I have nothing but to thank the staff and the PD for the work that they've continuously do. So, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Council member Ramirez.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I would like to first thank the Green Hill Crossing HOA for having me at their last HOA meeting. I heard their needs for pedestrian safety, sidewalk accessibility, their attention to and desire for the museum to remain open and possibly have kid and family-friendly happenings either there or within the park. And they're eager for open communication with the town, so I think that communications plan that we are working on with Miles and Michelle will really come in handy with addressing their concerns. I would also like to encourage the public, anyone listening, to participate in our budget discussions. So if they can't make it into the council meetings, please email our town clerk. She's amazing, and she will make sure that we get those. Public input is really important, so we know how to spend your money, so wherever, do that. And I would like to draw attention that the farmers market kickoff is the 24th of this month, and I really hope to see everybody out there. I know that Erin has been working her tail off, and it's just such a great asset to have in our community. So thank you, Erin, for all your hard work. And I also wanted to thank Nadia, who is the steward of our community garden. She's already starting programming for Girl Scouts, and they actually made fairy gardens, and they learned about caring for them and all of that fun stuff. So the things that we're doing here, making a difference, and thank you guys, that's it.
Marchant? Bueller? Okay. We'll move on to Vice Mayor Pater.
Thank you so much. So, thank you for bringing attention to the farmers market and to the to Nadia with the Rooted in Education. I also wanted to say we had an amazing business roundtable. Was super excited to see all of that, and it is my hope to highlight charities within our community on a monthly basis, just to bring highlight and notice to anybody we all can serve. Where we can serve and how we can serve is within our family, so that's what I'm hoping to do. So thank you.
Excellent.
Okay.
Let me get a copy of this.
Yes.
Councilman Passanello.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of things real quick. In addition to Child Abuse Awareness Month, April is also Autism Awareness Month. And as a grandfather for someone on the spectrum, I think it's important that we show a little bit of kindness. Heard some bad news today, unfortunately, and I'm not sure if anybody watches WUSA 9 and knows who Bruce Johnson is. You ever watched Bruce Johnson? He passed away on Sunday, unfortunately, from heart failure. Mr. Johnson was a volunteer and a member of the Lymphoma Research Foundation, and I had the opportunity to meet with him, and I found him a very, very gracious individual and very, very helpful in supporting our cause to eradicate lymphoma. And it's very sad news for our community, but I wanted to recognize Mr. Johnson, a real gentleman. And finally, on an up note, got an article here in, look at this, the Bull Run Observer.
Don't you dare.
Oh, I'm gonna dare. And I just wanted to bring recognition to Megan Weir. Bob, I think you must be very proud. And I think it's great to see her out there doing the EMS work.
She'll be sitting in your chair in a couple of weeks.
Oh, will she?
She'll try.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to read the final paragraph of this article. I don't know if anybody had a chance to see this.
Yeah,
but-
because it's incorrect. One of the statements is incorrect.
Okay, all right, we can discuss that. She has inherited her serving heart from Bob, her father, a town.
Exactly.
Now, why would they?
What heart?
A town of Haymarket town councilman who served on the planning commission and many county and school division budget committees, and Diane, her mother, a frequent town volunteer who has also helped with blood and bone marrow drives. So, Bob, thank you
I don't
for doing a good
I don't know
job.
where they found my heart.
But I actually do think,
I think the reward money for that's expired.
Amazing.
I just think it's a wonderful thing, and, Megan,
So
good
now
for
her
her.
head's going to get even bigger.
Well,
She's a lieutenant?
I think it was a lieutenant, yeah.
Yes, NCO, so you will salute her.
Good news, another one of Haymarket's folks doing well. Yeah,
One of our youth.
Excellent.
Our
Okay,
youths.
Bob. Sorry to
Oh,
put you
my
on the
turn?
spot.
Yeah, great, thanks.
Councilman Weir.
I don't have, the only thing I've got is we got a letter or a series of correspondence from the county last week with respect to the comp plan and I guess they apologized for not sending it to us earlier, or we were somehow left out of the loop, so we've been given a week and a half to comment on the mobility chapter, the housing chapter, and the land use chapter. If there's no objection, I'll work with Emily on some appropriate responses because there are some proposals in the application or in the comp plan chapters that I find very concerning with respect to the future of the town. One is plopping an activity center just to the west of the hospital, replacing some commercial with some high-density residential, and then punching Heathcote all the way out to Antioch and creating even more traffic out here, and generally doing some similar things on the other side of 66 on 55. There are some road improvements that, was my understanding, were removed, and the county transportation office has essentially ignored, or seemingly ignored, what the board directive was that do have some impacts on us in terms of likely increasing traffic down Jefferson Street and the congestion there. So if there's no objection, I'll work with Emily to address at least a response to those aspects of the land use and the mobility chapter under the very limited window that we've got to respond. I'm also going to personally talk to the acting planning director, because I thought we had taken care of this scenario where we suddenly get things with no time to respond appropriately. So I'll take that up with Deputy Executive Horner in the coming days. That's all I got.
No objection. No objection.
I'm just curious. I might just pop in to hear what's going on.
Not a prob.
Thanks.
That's right. And now me. Yeah, I have nothing much to say. I would like to thank everybody who came tonight and recognized all the people we did recognize tonight. And don't forget, Mayor's Walks are coming up and everything else that will be happening this month. I don't really have anything else to really say. So, yeah, did you prepare a closed session
Yes, I did.
statement? Cool, okay.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the town council convene in closed session for not more than 1 hour because tip-off of the game is in 59 minutes to discuss the following. As permitted by Virginia Code Section 2.23711A3, a matter involving the acquisition of real property for public purposes, specifically involving 14600 Washington Street, because discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the town's bargaining position, and as permitted by Virginia Code Section 2.23711A7, consultation with legal counsel or briefing by staff members or consultants pertaining to the pending case of Bean versus the town of Haymarket, where such consultation or briefing in open meeting would adversely affect the negotiating or litigating posture of the town.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, let's bring this, open the session back up. Attestation, please.
Mr. Mayor, I move the council certify that in the closed session just concluded, nothing was discussed except the matter or matters specifically identified in the motion to convene in closed session and lawfully permitted to be discussed in a closed session under the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act as cited in that motion.
Second.
Got a motion and second. Roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
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 Mr. Mayor, I would, without objection, I would direct the town attorney to proceed as discussed.
No objection.
No objections?
No objections? Mr. Mayor?
Is mine counted as an objection?
No, yours is counting as not caring.
Abstaining is
Abstaining.
that
No, it's not abstaining.
Not your.
No, you don't have an objection, so, well, I don't,
Yeah, it's a no, it's an objection. It's not abstaining.
okay, no
It's an
objection.
objection, with majority winning.
So then, once objected, then,
Then we have to vote.
Then you got to vote.
Yes.
We have to vote.
okay, that's fine.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Mr. Mayor, it is, if I could beg your indulgence on this, it's come to my attention that we've received some correspondence from the county that I believe needs some rather immediate action. So without objection, I would ask that we amend the agenda to allow the town manager to advise us of some communication from the county that may require action.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objections.
Okay. Just before our meeting started, I received an email from Nikki Brown, who is the assistant. And this is how it stated. Hi, Emily, we're in the process of putting together projects for consideration by our congressional delegation for potential earmarks. Would you have any concern if the county submits an application for a stormwater infrastructure assessment for the town? The funding would be used to assess the current stormwater systems in the town, of a preliminary plan cost estimate for improved project benefit. This project would provide necessary information to the town to plan and seek additional resources to upgrade existing systems, problems, and potential flood. We want to make sure you're comfortable with this before moving forward. Please let me know your earliest convenience as we have a quick turnaround for these items. We can discuss further. So I'm just looking for council to kind of give the blessing and yes,
Hallelujah.
please move forward with this.
Great idea.
Hallelujah.
Without objection.
No objection.
I have no objection.
Okay, I was just gonna say.
I'm just wondering if, so this would mean
Federal funds.
federal funds,
Yeah,
but it
so that was my
does
only
mean
question.
replacing?
It does not mean that they're going to do it.
They're
They're
surveying.
evaluating it.
Just evaluating.
They're going to do an assessment to see how much it'll cost to bring it up to speed.
And they'll probably try
or coordinate with them on how this happens.
May I ask a very quick question? Did they give parameters of which their survey is going to be? Okay.
I read you everything that I have, so I assume as we move forward and say, yes, please, sounds great, we'll talk about parameters. I would hope that it would be the entirety of the town.
Okay.
So I think our talk with Ann Wheeler may have helped out here.
I'm okay.
Well, you knew this was going to happen. They just refinished the roads.
I was pleading for some of that infrastructure money for this,
it's a
and
start.
ARPA money.
Yep. Yeah, it's a start.
I agree. So
Mr. Mayor?
is that what you need from me?
Yes.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The clock is ticking.
I know.
It's like,